So someone from the BBC was literally done for being a sexual then his name is protected. But Andrew gets accused of something and it's just slandered all over the internet.
Everywhere.
Sleep around and stuff. It's like, but how is that going to help anything in the future?
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to be able to raise a kid because you're not able to stay in a consistent relationship.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the 1% podcast, the best self-improvement podcast in the world. Today, we've got the standard guests on. We've got Will, we've got Hayden, and we've got Roz.
And a new table.
And we've got a new table.
Welcome,
so welcome to the podcast.
I didn't even notice the difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
What?
Excuse me?
That's an insult.
Bro, that's a fucking nice table. I actually picked up for $20, a bit of a steal.
It from the printers yesterday.
It's pain.
Whoa.
Whoa. Anyway, so today we're going to be discussing the manosphere and the red pill, which is some of the most autistic shit. It's a part of the industry we're in, so I just thought we have to discuss it. We're going to be trying to include somewhat of some value, what you guys should be listening to and what you guys shouldn't be listening to, and just discussing some of the problems and issues I've got with the whole industry.
He's got beef with the industry.
I do have beef with the industry. There's actually a lot of guys coming out right now. I know First Man made a video. Yeah. There's a few other people. Hamza also made a post recently about like how he's sort of fed up with the content as well.
It's a weird industry how it's like
weird.
It's meant to be a positive industry, but then there's a lot of it's like a really negative at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well, this has only been recent though. This has only been recent that it's sort of switched. Like back a couple of years ago when I started getting into it, like the quote unquote I hate fucking calling it that, the self-improvement industry, it was pretty positive. Like this is when Hamza was first coming up and he was making all these really good full guides, how to get an aesthetic body. And then you started having people like Fresh and Fit, and all these other people. Who else?
AT, you guys at home could probably work out who we're referring to. We can't actually name his name because we will literally get banned.
This has happened.
So we're actually aware of it now. So we're just going to refer to the guy as AT. You can work that out.
God, that's sad that we actually have to do that now.
Yeah, I know, but
what are your thoughts on AT?
I think as a whole, it is a positive influence for young people. I don't know if the accusations and claims against him, like, I'm 99% sure, like, it's just sort of, it's probably bullshit, but I don't really want to say anything for definite if, like, things come out later that say...
More importantly, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, I don't really fucking care.
Yeah.
Like everyone, when Andrew was coming up and rising up in the industry, everyone had an opinion on him.
Yeah.
Including me, to be honest with you. Now it's just like, oh, that guy, the bald-headed guy. Like,
all things considered, it's like 98% good advice. Just be strong, be masculine, focus towards your goals, be healthy. And there's just like the 2% that people take away from that and say, oh, he's a misogynist, oh, he's bad for the world.
Yeah, no, so I feel like a couple years ago he was making all these outrageous comments, and you can't lie, they were pretty outrageous, like saying all this ridiculous stuff, which, like, look, any ordinary man says them. It's all locker room talk. You know, every guy has said this shit. Anyone that's trying to cancel Andrew Tate, they're saying, oh, well, he said this. And it's like, you have said something 10 times worse. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing also. I don't even know, what is all the outrageous stuff that he said? Like, I don't really watch any of that shit, so I actually don't know.
Isn't most of the outrageous said here stuff out of context of something else?
Yeah.
Because a
lot of it's out of context from long form.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, he used to make all that content, but now with all this stuff from him going to jail, he's flipped the script now. You should see some of the stuff he's saying now is just like the most you'd call blue pill stuff I've ever heard. It's like he's just saying that, like, he's so safe with it now.
Yeah, you could definitely tell
he's like flipping the script.
You can definitely tell he's been a lot more wary of it now. It's completely different the way he goes about making videos and stuff like that. He's actually mentioned some of the stuff he said in the older videos he doesn't believe in now, but he did believe in at the time. So, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it. I think the only thing I know that he's actually said that I've seen is just that women can't drive. It's not.
But, like, come on.
I feel like Andrew Tate, in a way, is kind of contradicting himself.
Yeah.
When he says... When he goes against his own opinions in terms of, you know, toning it back a bit.
Yeah.
You know, because then he argues that men in today's society have, you know, been beaten down to a point where they're not even their own person anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something he's sort of tried to get across. So I've actually kind of felt the same thing happening to me in a way. Like, not in terms
same
of...
thing with me.
Yeah, not in terms of, like, me being a pussy, but more or less I don't have the energy to put across my opinions anymore because... A, it's something I'm not very passionate about, and B, where is it going to get me? It's just going to make me argue with someone.
Exactly.
And just have, you know, like, you can't, obviously, you know, you can't change someone's thought pattern through criticism
Yeah.
or trying to force it upon them. You can only let them see it themselves.
And you can never win an argument anyway.
Exactly right.
That's the fucking point.
So,
Okay guys, quick intermission. I hope you're all enjoying the podcast so far. As a lot of you will know, we are not sponsored by anyone. Anything shown or promoted on this podcast was either made or owned by us. So if you are enjoying the podcast, what you can do to support us is hit that subscribe button and click on notifications if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Spotify, you can favorite this podcast so you don't miss out every single time we upload. A new episode is put out Friday, 6 p.m. every week. We talk everything self-improvement from gym, mindset, money, and we try and make every week as exciting as the last one. With that being said, all of the other links to our self-improvement clothing, our socials, and all other projects, it's all down below, so go check that out. But without further ado, here's the rest of the podcast. Thanks for watching. So you said he was a net positive. What about for the young people watching him? Do you think it's a valuable thing to be watching? Or do you think it's just more damaging and they should just go learn their own life experiences, do their own thing?
For a lot of the young kids, like watching AT and just like, I feel they take a lot of his stuff the wrong way, and they only take away the outrageous stuff that he says.
Yeah.
Because that's their attention span. They can't focus on the overall message that he's trying to put across.
Yeah.
They say, oh, women can't drive and all this shit. Like, fuck my teacher. She's on
like,
50K a year.
Yeah,
I'm
women must be
alpha male
loyal,
shit.
but I'm not. I'm an alpha.
Yeah.
I think
like-
that's why it is dangerous for young people, because they can't actually see the full picture, or they just focus on the outrageous stuff. Bless you, that he says. And yeah, I think a bit more mature people can see through that stuff and see the full picture. But that's when these young people get like, they give him a bad rap because they can't really.
It's like people can't have their own opinions and take information from different pieces of videos and stuff.
Yeah, and create their own.
Like for me, I've always been good at just like, okay, I agree with that, but I don't agree with that, but I'll take that information in and I'll take that as fact.
Yeah.
This is stupid. You know, you don't have to be like Andrew Tate doesn't have to be your god, but you can take away some points and be like, that's a good point. That's weird as fuck, you know?
But then again, if you say Andrew Tate has a few good points, you're a misogynist.
You were exactly right. So you might as well just say you hate him and he's a misogynist.
Yeah, exactly right. But then again, if you say you hate him, then you're a beta blue-pilled cuck. So it's like, honestly, man, like, yeah, like exactly what you said. Just get the points that, you know, because he does make good points. Let's be real. Of course he fucking does.
Yeah.
And he also makes some rather outrageous things. But,
Yeah.
you know, for the majority of the time, like in terms of men improving themselves, yes, he's time and time again had good advice. And, you know, you can cancel me for saying that or whatever, but it is fucking true. It's factual.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff he says now is really true. Like it's the little kids that give him like a bad rap, that just take the outrageous shit and just like, that's why he has such a bad name around him. But if you actually listen to some of the podcasts like recently and after he's got out of jail and stuff, it's so intellectual, and they're very smart people. You can tell they're very smart people. He actually said something recently which is just like so true. So someone from the BBC, the people that tried to cancel him and putting all these out of context interviews out and stuff, one of them was literally done for being a sexual predator.
Yeah.
Literally done. But then his name is protected. The name is protected, but Andrew gets accused of something and it's just slandered all over the internet.
Everywhere.
I keep saying the name. Fuck.
No, I'd actually suggest everyone to go and watch the AT and the BBC interview, the one when he was fresh out of jail.
Oh, blood no.
That's the Matrix
Yeah,
attack,
yeah.
obviously. It's fucking clear,
Matrix.
clear as shit. AI drone that just came and went up his nose and made something. Like, how more obvious can they make it, really? We're sitting here talking about AT.
apprehensible.
Yeah, it's so obvious, bro.
They just give him a blood nose.
Yeah, it's a sign. Why do you think it's cringe to talk about Andrew Tate?
Because it's just been over talked about. So it was just everywhere at one stage. I was just fucking sick of hearing about
Do you
it.
think it's all the guys that have tried to be him as well that have made it cringe?
Yeah, definitely all the clones and stuff like that. It's just,
I don't know why they have to be him and do all the whole cigar shit and all that stuff.
yeah, what's the go with cigars?
Can't you just take away some of the good information and just...
I don't know. It's because he's definitely an influential person, and a lot of people without direction, they can easily just latch themselves on one character.
It is a lot of just young people without a father figure or without someone to look up to. Because I'm lucky, I've always had people I can look up to they're very safe people to look up to. Like they've only got good morals and shit. But with Andrew Tate, he's a bit extreme.
Yeah. But I guess that's what gets the massive audience, and that's now why I'm fucking sick of hearing about
The
it.
polarization.
Yeah, exactly.
So you think young people should listen to him or not?
I think you should take away the good points, but if you're not able to, don't. Like,
Yeah, if you're not able to have your own opinion and shit, then
I
don't.
think there's an age where you should start listening to him. If you're too young, you don't actually listen to the educational part of it, and you just start being like him, like running
Yeah.
around saying, "What color's your Bugatti?" and
Young and influential, yeah.
grabbing a stick and be like, I'm smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Like kids in school,
yeah.
like they take it the wrong way. If you're out of school and you've experienced the real world, that's when you start to look at what he says correctly.
But but then what if? So they're not watching Andrew Tate, but instead they watch the mainstream.
My brother in school, all he's been saying is people are just walking around with fucking sunglasses and saying, "What color's your baguette?"
That's
That's all he's been saying. Like that's all they do.
Oh, no.
They walk around with their
Nothing.
vape saying "breathe air" and shit. Like that's what school.
Well, that's like a
these
joke
days.
though. That's like a joke. Like
Yeah,
the
but they're
vape
not
breathe
actually
air
going
thing.
out and trying to make.
At least he's trying to tell
money.
people not to vape.
Yeah,
I don't fucking-
yeah.
with the whole vaping thing. Breathe air. What's the difference between that and a cigar, though?
Yeah.
So I was thinking.
Well, vapes have chemicals in them, and
tobacco
is just
is not good for you, but it's not like a smoke where it's like thousands of chemicals mashed into the one thing.
Yeah.
Cigar is just straight tobacco.
It's a cartridge.
It's pretty true when, like,
It's natural.
It was pretty true when he was trying to say that, like, how the fuck is anyone debating whether vapes are good or bad for you when, like, you literally get them from, like, 10 cents from China.
Yeah.
And, like, they've somehow managed to, like...
Chinese petroleum tanks.
Yeah, like, they've somehow manufactured fucking blueberry ice.
Since
like,
when does
bullshit.
China care about the environment?
And that too. like the last thing China would want to do is make things healthy for
All
us.
you have
Yeah.
to say is China made TikTok.
Matter of fact, they could be putting little things in it to like switch our brain.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
I'm surprised.
Honestly,
Shit. Ugh.
I'm saying it here now on the 1% podcast. If in 20 years all the vapors turn to fucking monkeys or something, like, we know how. Like,
When China unfolds a war on us and they turn onto the Chinese side of
Yeah.
the terrain and they just start
or
fighting
even
us.
no, this is what will happen. They'll start like their eyes and shit will start changing. They'll start like they'll start turning into Asians, bro.
Start speaking Chinese.
So, what are some good self-improvement channels then? If Andrew Tate's, a bit of a wishy-washy area, what are some good actual self-improvement channels that can help young men actually grow?
Hamza switches his opinions really quickly though.
Yeah.
Depends what sort of time frame you're watching his videos. I discovered it super early and I've watched him change opinions on certain things like multiple times. But yeah, the stuff he preaches now, I just chuck someone's got a Spotify channel and he posts all his long form stuff.
Yeah.
Which is I think is a lot better. And it's just like it's nothing but information that will like help you become successful. So I like if there was someone to watch, I'm sure there's better ones out there. I just don't consume that much stuff, so I wouldn't even really know.
With Hamza, what I like about him more is he gets the message out a lot better compared to other people.
Yeah, he has a way of
very
describing
good
it.
way of speaking.
He's just very authentic and relatable.
Good
So
storyteller as well.
Like Hamza is the introductory to self-improvement.
Yeah.
So that's like, I'd say, honestly, like he got me fully into that whole quote-unquote self-improvement niche. And then sort of, I did the whole rest of it. But he's someone that gets you into self-improvement. Like, I feel like you guys had a similar sort of situation. And then from then on out, you don't need to watch his content. He himself even says, you don't need to watch my content. Like, and that's another reason why everyone loves him so much. Well, most of the people, because he's very authentic. And he says, just because, he could have easily said, yeah, you need to watch all my videos. Like, there's this guy on YouTube who recently got popular. I'm actually considering calling him out. His name is Ali, all right? And this guy, he's probably the most unoriginal person I've ever seen, right? If you actually put Hamza's videos and then Ali's videos side by side, compare them, the bookcase is the same. He has a robe the exact same way.
Yeah.
He speaks the exact same way. Like, even with his hand, he goes, if you can't watch this video, your fucking dopamine is fucked, bro. Anyways, and it's just the whole same mannerisms, just everything, bro. And it ties back into the Andrew Tate
exactly.
thing. where-
Vaccination.
Exactly. People are trying to be who other people. They're trying to be like everyone else.
Exactly. Instead of just taking the good points and implementing it into their own life.
Exactly. Like, you need to be your own person. There is only one you on planet
this
Earth.
is what I've been trying to promote for ages. Literally live your own reality. Like, do your own thing, man. But just make sure you're always improving. Like, it doesn't matter, like I said, if you like laying fucking bricks and that's your thing, go do that, bro. You don't have to make a self-improvement channel and, do what, whatever Hamza's doing.
Exactly. And there's not something, like, I don't really get aggravated that easily, at least not lately. But to do with Ali and his whole scheme going on at the moment, he's selling a Discord server, like a VIP role on a Discord server.
Jesus.
Bear with me. For $90 USD a month.
That's fucked.
That's a role on a Discord server. And he's selling that. Like, hey, I sell a product as well. But at least I actually provide value. This guy has a recurring subscription for a Discord server.
People are selling, like, things that aren't products anymore. Like yours is a product. I've seen it. It's like a full-on guide. You could get a paper.
Bubble Aesthetics, by the way, go check that out in the description.
Yeah, no, that I actually would suggest go and check that out. You literally print that and it'll be a fucking book. So like, but people are just selling some bullshit these days. Like this is why we've always built legitimate brands, like clothing brands, pressure washing service, the 1% program we're building now.
But it's actually like I make sure there's enough value in there for the actual price tag. Yeah. I don't just I like providing value. Otherwise, I literally just feel like a scumbag. Like,
and it also won't sell if you don't provide value.
Exactly.
We provide value for free.
Well, that
we're
too.
not selling shit as well.
Yeah, I know. I'd say First Man's a great self-improvement channel as well.
100%.
But he's sort of dialing it back now and he's focusing on his business.
Yeah, no, he said he quit because of the whole manosphere thing about all the clones, the fresh and fit clones, the Andrew Tate clones and stuff, and it's just getting too much. And that's I think it's weird because with the self-improvement content in the self-improvement industry, it's a weird thing where it's like the more you listen to it, the more you shouldn't be listening to it.
Yeah.
So it's like the longer you get along your self-improvement journey, the less you listen to the self-improvement stuff, which is where sort of I'm at now, where it's like I'm just
don't even know what's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
This is what I was thinking when I was watching that video. Like I was agreeing with what he was saying, but in my head I was thinking, so what, bro? Go do your own thing. Like First Man, go fucking make, have your own good points. You don't have to blend in with the crowd. He was saying he didn't want to be a part of that whole manosphere group. I said, well, just do your own thing. It doesn't matter as long as you're providing value and you're helping people. I think that's all right.
Yeah.
A lot of things to do with self-improvement as well, I find it is people it's mental masturbation. It's like people, they create, goals inside their mind, or they, say, you get into the self-improvement community and you start reading books. And yes, books are beneficial, but are you reading books because you enjoy books? Are you reading books because it's something you think you should be doing? There's a big difference. It's like, I saw a clip you touched on before. It's to do with the gym. And people think they should be in the gym, so they go to the gym, but they're not actively really working towards a goal. It's just they're going because they feel like they should be in there, and they're missing out if they're not.
Yeah, and then they ask you, what should I do next? What should I do next? This like you should just try to be improving in all aspects of life. Like whether you do that in an old school way. Like I always say, fucking just get a job first. Just get a fucking job first, get a hardcore job, and just get the life experience.
Exactly.
But a lot of like the Humza clones are people that are 16 and they're asking us, like they'll even come into our DMs, like I spent fucking 50% of my time just doing free coaching in my DMs. And the story always is, I'm 16, I'm unmotivated, I don't know what to do, haven't had a job yet, I've started Bitcoin or I've started
it's like how do I invest in crypto?
How do I invest in crypto? It's like, what fucking money? Yeah. You don't worry about crypto, mate. Go build a legitimate business on the side. Get a real job now so you can fund it. Just think properly. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Just think, how am I going to get what I want?
And there's so much people that just listen to these like objective things. It's like they watch like a Hamza video or they watch like a First Man video. They go, okay, so I should be meditating. I should be gratitude journaling.
Should be on NoFap.
I should be on NoFap. I should do all this stuff. And it's like, bro, just do stuff that's going to improve your own life. If you don't fuck with meditating, then you don't...
that stuff's all good, but I think... that stuff's all good, but I think just get the basics right.
Exactly.
Those little extras that you do at the end, I think.
Exactly. When it comes into like meditating and all these extra things, I'd say it's only beneficial to do those things if you're actually seeing results from doing it.
That's it.
So like I don't see, personally I don't see any results from reading a book at night because I've already gone through the day. To be honest, I've got a quite obsessive personality, so I'm not really obsessing over what this book is telling me when I'm focused on achieving some other type of goal.
Like do what makes sense for your lifestyle as well. Don't do all this random shit that's not going to fit into your lifestyle.
Exactly. Like if I'm working like 15 hours a day, I'm not going to spend an hour gratitude journaling and then meditating because it just doesn't fit my lifestyle. So it's like you don't need to listen to these things and just follow it like a zombie. It's like do what improves your own life based on how your life is.
And don't be scared to say what you want either. Like if you don't want what all the other self-improvement guys want, like you want like a fuck ton of money. Like for instance, they always like to promote and put on a pedestal, you need a lot of money, you need a lot of women, you need there's this checklist. A lot of money, a lot of women, and you need nice cars. Like if you don't want that and you want something else, you just want to pursue a creative career, like you want to paint art or something, fine. Just find a way to monetize that and do that if that's what you want to do,
Yeah, facts. 100%. Another thing to do with red pill content and all of that sort of manosphere is that, like you just said, like you have to have a lot of women, a lot of money.
Yeah.
To be honest, bro, like I've never sort of, maybe this is due to like my upbringing, maybe I'm a little more privileged than the average person or whatnot. I wouldn't say I am, to be quite honest, but I have never felt the need to get as much money as possible. My goal in life, and I feel like this is, I'm not saying you should have to do this as well, but is to be happy doing something you love as a career, not try and get as much money as possible. Like I see certain YouTubers like Brandon Carter, for example, and he, it's like his whole life is surrounded by money. It's like his one goal is to get as much money as possible. And like, hey, if that makes him happy, if that's his purpose, all power to him, right? But personally, that's not in it for me. Same with women. I'm not trying to get as much women as possible.
It's so
I'm
fucking
just
pointless. That's another
100%.
I want to start ranting about that.
It's annoying, bro. I'm trying to find one woman that I actually care for and I can not settle down with, but actually form a connection with. You get what I'm saying? So you're not going to, like Andrew Tate, you're not going to form a connection with someone when you have 9 wives. He's, like, it's just not possible.
That's what I want to get. Like, people just have these like stupid like objectives. It's like, do you actually want that, bro? Like 17 women and like fast cars and shit. Like, you probably don't even like cars, and also
you don't even like the taste of cigars, bro.
exactly like the people who smoke cigars and they're like. I think if there's one thing that like as a guy you like pretty much objectively want is freedom. I think almost everyone just wants freedom in their life. So it's like if you're chasing money but you're working like 16 hours a day, weekends and everything, is that like what is the fucking point of that?
Isn't the divine masculine to be free? Isn't it free?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. No, I think what defines masculine is just like not fast cars, a lot of like big asses
the
and stuff.
desire is to be. Oh yeah, funny. Bro, that literally went. No, but literally though, like to be free, like the divine masculine, the main masculine desire is to be free and free.
Yeah, 100%. To be free and to conquer, really.
Yeah.
You don't have to sleep around. Like that's not beneficial for you. This is where a lot of young guys have been on this shit too. It's like, oh, you know what? No, fuck these hoes. I need a bunch of them. Fresh and Fit's also not good for that as well. Because they're just putting a bunch of dumb chicks on a panel and just saying like, get off my show, you dumb whore.
Asking questions about geography, like where is Uzbekistan on this
It's
map?
like, they don't fucking care, mate.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
But, like that's the thing. They hate women, but they want to get with women.
Yeah.
How does that work?
But it's like if you're like 14 or something and you're watching that content, constantly just indulging in that content, and then they're gonna get this idea that all women are stupid, and it's like you're never gonna get laid like that, man.
The influx of
So cringe.
AT and Sneeko. I'm watching these guys' content all day. I'm not working, so I have a lot of time to consume these guys' content, right? And I'm just taking their opinions face value and applying it to my own mentality. And then obviously if you combine that, like I'm not even gonna say breakup, but like I had a falling out with a girl I was with at the time. You combine that with the influx of Andrew Tate, and that really preys on your mind. Not in like it really does tarnish your views on women 100%. But like I said, I'm not an AT hater, but I am I'm reasonable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like everyone should be reasonable about him. He provides good advice to men, and the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. You just got to look at it objectively. Just take out parts that like you actually believe in, and if you don't believe in a part, you don't have to be like, I fucking hate him, or he's my god or something.
You don't have to be as polarizing as Andrew.
Exactly.
Andrew in of himself is extremely polarizing, and that's why he climbed to fame so easily. Is because like. Even Hamza had a lesser version of polarization. He says things exactly right. He says things with conviction to the camera, and people get around that. They're like, oh yeah, I agree with this guy, and it's like you either hate them or you love them. And if you can split people down the middle, it's a one-way trip to getting famous, in my opinion. And like I'd say
that's what we did
exactly.
Pretty much.
I was about to mention me and Nelson were. Not TikTok famous, but
we were TikTok famous.
Yeah, we were pretty fucking famous. Yeah. No, but you were on about like 120K before you got banned. I was on about like 30,000.
Yeah.
I'm still on there. I don't really care anymore. But it's you upload things to get as famous as quickly as possible, get as much numbers, and you sacrifice your own inner beliefs and personality and your own inner thought process to please the masses and trying to get as big as possible. And it does change your mind completely.
It definitely does. Like I always said that it was sort of like a blessing in disguise that I got banned from TikTok, because I was sort of getting swayed. I was talking about this last podcast. I was getting very swayed to make more negative content that wasn't really providing any value or helping anyone. Like me sitting on there like talking about the health leaders are fat, fucking look how fucked up society is and shit. Like that's not really doing much, man. But I'm getting a shit ton of views, and I feel really great because I'm starting to build up the businesses and shit.
It's a lesser version of the news, isn't it?
It is.
We touched on how the news is extremely detrimental to your inner mental health. But isn't the content we were making just a form of that?
Yeah.
Putting out negativity into the world. what is that going to do? And that's a big, like if you're trying to become a creator, a big lesson you're going to learn is that, yes, negativity will get you bigger quicker, but it's not going to result in
You feeling more fulfilled.
not being more fulfilled and stable results.
Yeah, what's the thing? Because you need to be polarizing to get traction online. These kids that watch this stuff, they can't see through that. They can't see that they're trying to do that.
And then it's just marketing, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just literally just marketing.
Like the only reason Andrew Tate exists is to sell Hustlers University.
Exactly. But people can't see through his polarizing figure because people actually say, but even in real life, he's just a reasonable, normal sound guy.
Yeah.
But online, he's like this,
Well, that was the exact same thing. Like, I just want to talk about this for a bit. Like, when I was really popping off on TikTok and I had like people coming up to me in person because it's a geographical app. You know, it shows people around you. But like I was putting on this like sort of polarized version of myself online. So that when people met me in real life, I sort of have this anxiety that like I'm not going to be who I am on TikTok. Like I'm not going to be there like, what's up, bro? Do you agree that also all women are bitches?
Yeah.
Like I'm a very different guy.
Yeah, bro, 100%. People have cast aspersions on me all the time. Like I've been recognized in the gym, not to brag, but like I think 5 or 6 times now by certain people. And they automatically just assume, because like most of them have seen me on TikTok, which is sad to say the least.
Yeah, are you that
sad-
TikTok
sad
guy?
Yeah, you're that TikTok guy. And, you know, like, because it's easier to find someone on TikTok because it's location based and, you know, obviously there's more people that can watch your content freely, whatnot. But I can just tell by the way they look at me, like, oh, is this guy gonna like tell me to, you know, like stop going to clubs and shit? Like, is this gonna like he's gonna judge me or whatever?
Because you've said all this negative shit.
Yeah, 100%. And like in real life, I'm such a fucking chill and nice guy.
Yeah,
But on TikTok, I'm completely different. It's like all my like rage and like this ball of energy just gets like transmuted into.
Well, it was all business at the time. It was all
Exactly,
business.
yeah.
I was like messaging you, I'm like, bro, this is what works. I'm telling you, this is the new update. Like, you put the clip under here, you get the subtitles here, and you got to talk about this, this, and this at this time.
Yeah.
And like, it was all business at the end of the day. But like, fuck, it's not that beneficial in the day. That's why I'd way rather this build up in very much slower, but be very authentic.
That's the thing, I like this long. That's why now with my long form videos, I'm not like hype reading it, getting the set structure, like a hook here, CTA here, this and this here. It's like sort of be authentic and speak my like what I'm actually thinking.
It's tempting to do that. Like I could easily just sit in here and just like do the whole fresh and fit clone thing like everyone's doing now, right? I could sit in here with like 6 chicks on the panel and just be like, what do you rate me? And they'll be like a 2, and I'll be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you know. But like I'd way rather just literally just provide value, like literally, because I'm just trying to help the people on the other end of this.
Yeah, because
and be as authentic as possible.
at the end of the day, that's what's actually fulfilling is helping people. Like when I've actually had people in my DMs and I'm actually like coaching them, like I actually feel good about that. I don't feel good about filming a video and like using all these certain strategies to get views and clickbaits and stuff, and then just like staring at it, refreshing my page.
You had a quick dopamine hit, but it's no better than
like,
anything else.
It's the instant gratification version of content creation.
That's 100% true, bro. Like, another thing, if you guys, because we are like, this is the 1% podcast, so we're going to be talking to people who are creators most of the time. But if you are a creator, or even if you're just like some random civilian who scrolls on TikTok from day to day, just turn your notifications off. You don't need them.
Yeah.
Like initially when you said to me, you're like, oh, just turn off your notifications on Instagram. You don't need them. Like, what are you saying, bro? What does this cunt say? But then I turned it off, and then I realized I'm going on the app a lot less now.
Yeah.
Only for stuff that actually matters, like texting people like when I actually need to, versus like I found when one of my transformation videos went viral, I was just refreshing my life.
You refresh it and then you're
It's
constantly
just
checking
like
the
that.
comments.
Exactly,
Like,
bro.
what are they saying?
In the midst of doing that, I'm not achieving anything, and I could have gone out and it just, long story short, it just destroys your dopamine system. We touched on a podcast. Check out this. What was it? The 3rd episode.
I think it was. Yeah,
Check out the 3rd episode. That's a huge, very
good one.
valuable episode.
Yeah, best one, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
You just want to basically be trying to escape the fucking dopamine traps that society's constantly always trying to throw at you. So just like
It manipulates you.
manipulates you. So just try to take off the notifications. Try to take off anything that they're trying to grab your attention with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all just attention grabbing
It's
stuff.
funny though because like we were talking about earlier, like self-improvement YouTubers and like AET and stuff. They're all over the social medias. They're all over the short form content and stuff saying don't do it. And even I'm on here saying don't do it. But it's like, that's why it's like the more you watch the content, the less you end up watching it. Because the more you realize I shouldn't be watching it in the first place.
That's true.
Yeah.
It depends on like what the type of content you are consuming is.
Exactly.
If you're someone who isn't in this sort of isn't interested in improving their lives, actually, no, I wouldn't even say it in that terms of sense. I'd say it in terms of if you're someone who isn't aware to the detriments through dopamine manipulation, or simply just don't know any of these people who are providing the right information, then I don't blame you, because how are you supposed to know if you never heard this information before, especially when it's not considered the norm of society? Like companies like TikTok, they're trying obviously to keep you in that loop. That's literally what they have. That's their app model. You don't have to pay for the app. You keep other people on the app, and that is their model.
They can keep your attention long enough, then they can sell you shit. So why do you think that self-improvement, which is inherently like a positive thing, I mean, it's in the word improvement, why do you think it's become negative?
I think it's because I don't know. It depends what you watch. Like, I wouldn't say it's that negative. Depends what you listen to and who you listen to.
If you go on the wrong part of it, it's negative.
It's definitely a more confusing route to go down in life.
It's confusing as fuck.
It's so confusing. It's like, it's so much easier to just be like, oh yeah, I'll just get in the loop of just working, going to the clubs, drinking, coming back, just repeat.
It goes against every single thing we've ever been taught in our entire lives.
Yeah, it
Exactly. That's why you got to sort of do it yourself.
Yeah.
It goes so against the grain, like when you're trying to improve your life, because your brain's battling against you, society's battling against you, your own thoughts. Do
you think that's why it can end up negative sometimes? Because it feels like everything's against you?
Yeah, it feels like everything's wrong, like you shouldn't be doing it. But the more you're on it, the more you're like, holy fuck, this is the way I should be living life.
That's why it's even more important to be a confident and assertive man.
Yeah.
So you're sure in your own opinions, and you're not influenced by other people's opinions, and you're turned into someone that you're not. Like, I've been surrounded by, I'm not going to say negative people, but just low quality, and maybe they were negative people my entire life, but throughout all of that shit, I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to my own beliefs.
Yeah, I've noticed that. That's good.
I didn't end up doing, what these people wanted me to do in terms of peer pressure or anything like that. And I don't know why that is for me personally, but I suppose maybe I've just been lucky in terms of my brain, I guess. I don't know. But for other people, if you find it hard and you are susceptible to peer pressure, really do yourself a favor and just listen to your inner voice from time to time. Because chances are your gut feeling is always going to be more correct than, say, listening to your mate who's telling you to vape. Oh, this is this cool little colourful stick. Let me suck on this all day.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's why I sort of had to isolate myself, because I am sort of quite an influential person.
Yeah.
So in order for me to flourish and do what I love doing, I had to sort of isolate myself. And then I sort of, got in connection with you guys. That's why it'd be a great thing if you guys, are getting influenced by bad people. Just try to put yourself around a good network, and then it won't feel so weird when you're trying to improve, because everyone in your circle is trying to improve, and it's just like it becomes the new norm.
Yeah, that's also probably why it can be seen as a bit of a negative thing, because it's a very lonely road to go down. Like, it's very isolating.
Yeah,
because it's so rare, and everyone's just it seems like everyone's against you when you're trying to improve yourself.
And the more you try to improve yourself as well, the more resistance.
Even the media tells you, bro, don't do that. Just stick to the normal shit,
work-life balance and shit like that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Another reason why it could be hated is because I noticed. Do you remember back in the day, when you see someone who's like jacked, they're confident as fuck.
Yeah.
They'll be like, look at this cocky. Thinks he's up himself, and so that's probably why he goes, oh, they think he thinks he's better than us.
Exactly.
So we come off that way, and so people go, oh, I don't. Want
I understand
that
we come off that way though. Like, I do get that.
We're just happy about everything.
Yeah,
That's all it is. We're not up. We don't think we're up ourselves, or we think we're better.
Mentally, it's the opposite, because you're humble about it, because you know how much it takes to get there.
And you want other people to get there too, because you're a ball
100%.
of positive energy.
Bro, I've had like opportunities lately that I never thought I'd ever have, and there's been people in my life that say to me, "Oh, what does this guy get out of it? Because he's helping me out." And all this shit.
Yeah.
And they almost don't believe that someone's actually doing something for me out of the kindness of their heart. There's always something in it for someone else, and I suppose yes, it's good to have doubts in life, just to protect yourself. But people that are actually trying to help each other out there, like. I'm not trying to gloat, but people like me who just like to help others just, because they see potential in others.
Yeah.
They're rare people to come across. And the only way I guess you get to that point is if you improve your own life, because when you are a inherently low value person or just a hater in general, you're not going to be very kind to people. You're going to be more of a hater, because when it's hard to explain, but when you're someone who is up in the pinnacle of life in any type of facet, you don't need to hate on someone else.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Exactly.
Because what do you need to hate on them for? You're objectively better. I'm not saying, that is the case, but you've had more life experience. You've done more things in life. So why would you kick someone while they're down?
Yeah.
Whereas if someone's hating, they're always below you in terms of their inner point of view. They're not going to admit it firsthand.
Exactly. And also I think why a lot of people think it's a bit negative, because like, oh, you're trying to force your lifestyle onto me by making these videos telling me how I should do
Oh,
be
yeah.
and stuff. And it's like, I'm not trying to force it upon
Yeah.
people. It's just, this has made my life better. And
It's
everyone I
awareness.
know that have gone on this path, it's made their lives better. So it's like, objectively, bro, if you listen to the advice, your life will probably get better. That's why I want to spread it. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to force anyone into anything. But the people that say that don't like their life. So
Yeah, they're trying to protect their life that they don't like.
exactly, that's the biggest mind-blowing thing to me.
What's some safe, objective self-improvement tips that everyone can follow, knowing that they're going to be safe doing
Yeah.
that?
I think like if you were to just like, if there was some safe advice that pretty much anyone could take to improve their life, literally just get in the gym, chase a goal or a purpose, and just live healthy, just be healthy.
Fix your diet is the first one. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
fix your
noticed as soon
diet,
as
yeah.
I fix my diet, eating healthy foods, a lot of beef, my motivation has gone through the roof. Like,
Yeah.
just feel.
It's
I
an
wanna
underrated
accomplish
one, man.
something.
It's
I wanna
definitely an
accomplish
underrated
something.
one. But like,
Yeah.
isn't that diet culture? I don't know if you can promote that. Actually, no, I don't know. If you,
eating habits, bro.
no, that actually, see, so even simple shit like that can become like a touchy subject somehow.
Yeah, how the fuck is eating healthy a touchy subject?
Like someone actually said I had an eating disorder. So what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
yeah,
People who think it's negative diet culture to say that are not going to improve their life in the first place. So who cares?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
gives a fuck off?
yeah.
Fuck out of here.
That's the thing. The people that think negatively about the self-improvement people have negative lives. So they're going to think negatively about like anything that isn't in
Yeah.
their lane. You know what I mean?
They're negative
Yeah.
because they slam them KFC and Macca's burgers all day.
I feel like if you care too much about any certain subject, you're always seen as a tryhard.
Yeah.
You know what I say to that? I'd say become a tryhard until you don't have to try hard.
yeah.
facts.
That's a tweet.
How the fuck can you try too hard at something anyway? Like, what kind of shit is that? So, okay, so you said gym, you said find your purpose and diet. How does one find his purpose?
Fuck around.
Just
Because
yeah, fuck
this is
around,
the fucking
If
biggest
you fuck
question.
around, you'll find out. Like, just
It could take your whole life. Just
yeah,
keep
exactly.
trying, like,
just try new shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, and I will say there is no like overall God-given purpose that you're going to get. I have no God-given purpose. Like obviously, I have like certain things that I know fulfill me, like helping people, get a healthier life. I like making content. Like I've always made content, whether it be fucking anything. And I like gym. I like being active.
I say a safe way to find your purpose will be what do you enjoy doing, and then set a progression-based goal around that.
Yeah, and that won't be your one purpose for the rest of your life. Like
it'll
that's going to change heaps.
Yeah.
like I probably it's going to change.
Yeah, like my purpose as a young kid, I've had heaps of purposes. I thought I was going to be a game designer for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to be a coder, and then I realized, okay, I look like a lizard if I do that. So I better get in the gym. And then I had a massive purpose about just being beefy as fuck. And then I realized, oh shit, my genetics are trash. So now I'm more focused on the content and producing valuable
I
information.
feel like everyone in a way should aspire to be a scholar athlete. Like just have the mental capacity and also the physical capabilities in the same way. Like, because that just sets you apart. Because there's people out there who are programmers. By the way, that job's gonna go extinct in like 5 years because AI. But there's programs out there, and then there's bodybuilders out there. But like people who combine both of those things, like the mental, the mental
just chat.
brain, and just literally, and just the brawn mixed together. That's an incredibly rare individual, and he's gonna be dangerous.
just aiming to be like an intellectual Chad.
Yeah.
That's like because you've only got two things. You've got your mental and you've got your physical. So just get those two
Yeah,
areas.
that's a
sorted.
pretty safe purpose to fulfill if you're young. Literally just get physically fit and get like mentally fit. And like just try and improve in every fucking aspect of life. Try and improve, but just pick something and just do it for a bit. If you don't like it, fine, do something else.
Is this controversial to say that I don't see a point in living unless I'm improving?
No, that's not controversial at all.
I agree.
I look back at my old lifestyle now, and I'm like, bro, I had so much like because it was when COVID hit and school wasn't even like I wasn't doing school at all, and I was just like, but there was so much time. Like, what was I actually spending the time doing?
Yeah.
I can't even remember. I'm like, fuck, bro, that would have been so depressing. Like, what was I even trying to achieve?
Like, it doesn't seem feasible in the long term, considering you obviously need to take care of your mental health and your physical health and everything. But short term pain is negligible in terms of long term results.
Exactly.
So, like, obviously, hurting yourself in the short term, whether that mean, sacrificing your body to get money and like a job, maybe not. But in terms of, working through those gritty times, like just, say for example, you've gotten home, you're tired, and you need to upload a video for tonight or finish writing a script or something like that. Just do it. if you're too tired, just do it, man. Like, because in the long run, you'll thank yourself for it, and you won't remember the times you were tired, but you'll remember the times you finished what you needed to do.
Yeah, a lot of people will be safe just working hard at anything. Like, a lot of people would just say, if you just work hard, you'll get places.
Exactly. If you just work really hard at one thing, like in 2 to 3 years, of course it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
Like there's so much people that don't even do anything. It's like, so if you just work like an absolute fucking animal at anything, you could accomplish so much more than you even think you could.
Fucking 90% of people in self-improvement don't know how to work hard.
No, they
and
don't.
That's one thing you need to get in check
that
first.
That is the annoying thing about the industry. People label themselves as, I'm on self-improvement. It's like, but you're a lazy
It's like, you're no better than one because you sit there with your fucking legs crossed and meditate, whatever. Like, you're no better than anyone because you bought a book off Amazon, mate. You know, get in the real world and do real shit. You know, this is why I feel like we're actually qualified to sit here and talk about the things that we'll only sit here and talk about the things that we've done, right? That's why I feel like we've actually built a body we're proud of. We've actually run real businesses in all business model types.
Yep.
We've done real world things. We've had fucking multiple jobs. You know,
exactly.
Hard labor.
And there's also like the 12-year-old kids teaching people, this is how you make $10 million in crypto. It's like, you don't know.
Don't fucking worry about crypto copywriting. Fucking crypto. You know, you can do it if you want, but crypto copywriting. Fucking Bitcoin. That's crypto.
Stocks and all this shit.
Stocks. What's the other one? Oh, what is it? There's one I'm thinking of.
Affiliate.
NFTs.
NFTs.
Fuck, man.
It's just a way to sell a falsehood dream. That's all it is. Like, AT's course, you know, all these other AT frauds courses, all this shit. Like, if you're not actually providing any value, you're just telling, okay, like, I know how AT runs this thing. I've not been in it, but you can just tell by the front of the site. And it just says, you know, copywriting, affiliate marketing, all this other shit, right? And then you've got people teaching you in the server how to do these certain things. And that may seem valuable firsthand. But in my opinion, I have a very obsessive personality. So if I'm not interested in something someone's teaching me, that information goes through one ear and out the other.
Oh, bro.
So you guys are very similar with your clothing brand and, you know, the podcast. You're very passionate about it. And you need to go down a point in life where you're passionate about the certain thing you're getting into. Because then it just turns into a job. It's like, what's the difference between doing copywriting and earning money on that versus, you know, labouring in a factory job? It's
Exactly.
the same thing.
Plus, it's way harder to do work about shit you don't care about. Like, don't get me wrong, maybe some people can resonate with copywriting or Bitcoin or something, and they just find interest in analysing stuff and looking at it, and you know. But most people probably not.
Yeah, it's
just a buzzword.
That's what I have the controversial advice of, like, if you don't have the mental capacity to work on something really hard, don't bother trying to do all this shit. Just learn how to work hard first. Go sign up for some fucking trade job or something hard so you actually know what hard work feels like. Because people don't know what hard work feels like.
Yeah.
They don't know how to sit there and just go through the gritty tasks, the stuff they don't actually want to do. That's why people, they'll hear about crypto. It's like, it's just an easy way out.
If you want to make money online, it's as simple as this, right? Just find something you're passionate about. And I'll keep saying this in every fucking episode if I have to. Find something you're passionate about. Like I said, if you're interested in BMX bikes, okay, what can you sell that BMX people would love? BMX grips. Sell BMX grips online. Get them manufactured. Go to Alibaba.com. Get them manufactured. Get sent like 50 of them and start advertising them. Have your own little niche. But like, you can sell a product. Yeah. It's fucking probably easier than doing Bitcoin.
Oh, 100%.
Or NFTs or something.
And you'll actually enjoy doing it.
And you can sell products. We've all sold products. It's not that hard. You just make good product and people buy it.
It's very hard to work every single day and like all day on something that you don't even give a fuck about.
Exactly.
It's like, it's not plausible.
Yeah. So people always say like, oh, you need to take a break. You need the work-life balance. It's like, I fucking love this shit.
Exactly. If
this
you love
is all I
doing
know how
it,
to do.
If you love doing it, then you're not actually working, are you?
So also trying to keep it fresh as well. Yeah. Jeez, this is a good knuckle. Trying to keep it fresh as well, because the amount of YouTubers that I've seen like dropping out of the scene because they're like, I just don't enjoy it anymore, guys. Like, this has turned into a job for me. And it's true, because I feel like something similar would happen to me if I don't freshen up my content, if I don't try different things. It's like guys who started making out Call of Duty videos back in 2012, and they're still doing Call of Duty videos to this day. It's like, how are you supposed to enjoy that?
Unless they somehow do, and that's fine, but like, fuck. I couldn't.
Yeah, but that's how you see those channels are like drying up now, because you can see it in their attitudes. They're not passionate about that shit.
Even in their attitudes, like, no one's going to buy into that.
God, bro, I sussed that LEA channel the other day, and bro, he looks fucking depressed, man.
Stampy Longnose still uploads.
Does he?
Yeah.
Damn.
Same old shit.
Minecraft?
But just no enthusiasm in the video.
At least you found out what works.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
he gets like maybe 5K views a video.
I mean, you're not going to enjoy every little part about your passion. Like, there's certain things that I don't enjoy. For instance, like editing's not my fucking. I don't love editing, but I like the end goal. Like, I like the whole thing. So you can.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
like that's like when people take these self-improvement YouTubers' advice, like objectively, like when they hear about meditating or like on like gratitude journaling or something, and then they'll do it. And it's just like it's not actually providing them any value, but just because they heard it, it's like, oh, I should be doing that. If you don't actually like doing that shit, then just you don't have to.
It's still valuable. That just
it's valuable advice, but like some people just work differently. Some people have different ways of. Like,
I found influencers are actually raising our kids more than our own parents.
that is true.
If I 2 years ago a year ago I found Hamza and my mum would give me advice in the world versus Hamza giving me advice in the world, I'd probably listen to Hamza, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how fucked is that? Like, my own mum who gave birth to me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to it over some random Indian who has her head up, like, with a fucking robe.
yeah, that's why I only really want to give advice
It's
on YouTube
insane.
that I would give to my son.
Yeah.
So it's like the values I'd want to give my son.
Yeah.
Those are the only values that I'd be preaching on
You just
the
got to be
internet.
careful on whose content you're consuming. Like Hamza, I'd say he's beneficial to the mass majority of people because he's basically, he said himself, he's the introductory to self-improvement. AT a little bit more controversial, obviously, because he's not completely a safe
But, yeah,
option.
exactly. But because you're so polarizing, that's why he's just really
He's
such a massive audience.
Absolutely just skyrocketed. But in terms of the whole quote where you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, it still rings true to the influences you consume.
Yeah, 100%.
But then again, I don't actually consume any content anymore to do with influencers. I feel like once you reach a certain point in self-improvement and you sort of, everything you need to know to succeed
exactly.
in life, all you need to do now is just execute your plan, and that's it.
Exactly. Build your own values and then just follow them religiously. So do you think that like all this self-improvement industry is going to get bigger? Or do you think that it's like... Do you think that's also going to get washed out by like degeneracy?
I've thought about this a couple of times because obviously it's the industry I'm in, sort of. So it's sort of like you'll be almost be taken out of a job. But I think it's a good question. I don't know. I think people always need advice and people always need guidance.
I think the community as a whole will get bigger, but the actual quality of the information will cease to be as good as it is. Only because of referring back to Hamza clone Ali, and Hamza himself is very good, but like he said, there's only so much you can say. And now, if you actually watch Ali's videos, all he's doing is just reiterating what Hamza already has said, just in a worse way.
But at the end of the day, it's putting out the same... the information is good for society as a whole, I think. And I think there'll always be a need for this sort of information, and like people always need that sort of father figure there because we're not finding it anywhere else in society anymore.
Yeah.
And also, like, the whole thing with women just wanting to fucking sleep around and dudes wanting to sleep around, there's no family unit anymore.
You know what? There's a lot of work to be done.
There's heaps of work to be done. We need to reverse the damage that we've done because there's no family unit anymore. Like, literally all of my friends, literally pretty much everyone I know, do not have parents that are together.
Yeah.
And that is terrible for bringing up children and terrible for society. And I think eventually that's going to catch up to us. And the only way that we can sort of fix this is to give out these good old school values to people.
Yeah, let's be real. It has nothing to do with women are the problem or men are the problem. It's a problem that is just lies within society. Yeah. There's difficulties on both sides of the agenda. Men and women have their own battles they need to deal with and their own opinions on each gender. Like, I feel like it's very immature for anyone of any gender to cast aspersions on a whole gender, literally a whole gender, just because of a few experiences you've had with certain women. Like, there's billions of women out there, billions of men out there, but you're going to hate all of them because of one woman or man that fucked you over. Like,
literally, dudes will get their heart broke once and then they'll just be like, women are hoes, instead of just actually reflecting on, like, you probably didn't get the job done properly.
You're probably like skinny fat, bro.
Exactly.
You probably stink a little. You ever flossed your teeth, bro?
100%. Like, the first time I got dumped, I was like, I wasn't thinking, fuck her. I was thinking, fuck, I ain't it. She was probably right for doing that, you know.
You need to get on the penis pump.
Yeah, literally, bro. I need but no, literally, like, I actually, like, thank her for that. Like, the best fucking thing, like, that can happen to you. Literally, the best thing that can happen to you as a man, like, to get the ball rolling, is to get dumped.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, it's like, fuck, I need to get better.
I'd say like a lot of the old school values I really resonate with, especially the ones we were brought up with. Like, if my dad were to sit here on this podcast and say some of the things he used to say to me as a kid, he'd be cancelled. Like the whole thing, like I'd fall off a bike and he'd be like, "Get up, stop crying." You know, people would be like, that's exactly what toxic masculinity is. That's what I'm talking about.
No,
right
that's
there.
what brings you up.
That is fucking. That's like, you know, that's why I'm hard now. That's why, you know.
Yeah, you need people like that. Otherwise, you raise a bitch for
Yeah,
exactly.
I think. Yeah, you go.
It's like with the whole getting into the trade to sort yourself out. It's like growing up like that. You need to
Yeah.
go through some hard times to
Yeah.
build yourself up.
No one has a hard life anymore, and that's why the next generation is where we're really going to have the consequences of the actions of society now. And I think that's where we're really going to realize, like, holy fuck, because I look around, it's like everyone is going to be terrible parents.
Yeah.
And the kids are going to be like, even now you see kids like
can be
just glued
soft
to their
as
iPads,
fun.
like they're like 4 years old watching fucking Coco.
That's why some of the old school advice is good as well. Like, I actually reckon some of these fucking Humza watching no fappers would come into the trade with me, man, and they would suffer. They would not. They would fucking
Get them on a bricky site.
get them on a bricky site, and they would crumble. They would crumble.
Yeah, where's your fucking self-improvement there?
Self-improvement tip 21 out of 100. Work a fucking hard job instead of not touching your dick. That'll actually help you. But no, really. Like, you know how you guys are talking about how it's easy to stand out from the crowd, even as us right now. You guys are saying how, or even I'm saying, parents, when they're raising their kids, like, imagine, like, people who jerk off every day, vape, you know, scrolling TikTok all the time, raising kids. Their kids are going to be even worse than what this generation is.
Exactly.
Imagine how easy it would be to stand out as a kid in Gen Alpha or some shit. It'd just be so... It would be so easy. You'd have to just put in like 1% of effort each day and you'd be an animal.
Reject all the
But
bullshit everyone tells you.
I think this whole thing is going to go full circle though, because of the whole strong men create easy times create weak men. We're in the easy times now, and we're getting a whole generation of weak men, and that's going to catch up to us. And then the weak men are going to create the hard times, which will create strong men. It's just, I think we're going through this perpetual loop, and right now we're in the easy times.
This has been repeated in society, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And also going back to the whole raising kids. When you raise kids, you need a mum and a dad. It can't be one or the
Yes,
other. Because
I agree.
if it's one mum, the kid turns into a sook.
Yeah.
Or anything. And if it's just one dad, he turns into a fucking dick.
I don't completely agree. Like, there are some guys who've been brought up with single parents who become absolute, like, fucking mad dogs. But that's only because the mum has to play both roles.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like basically like a super mum.
Exactly.
Which is what my mum was.
You need both.
Yeah, you do need both.
That's
Yeah.
why so many kids are growing up these days with the divorce rate. They're growing up fucked, like mental health and everything.
And that becomes the new norm in their head. And that's
Yeah.
instilled in them. That
That's why I think that that's why there's so much negativity in the self-improvement industry, like with the fresher people and the red pill community stuff saying sleep around and stuff. It's like, but how is that going to help anything in the future?
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to be able to raise a kid because you're not able to stay in a consistent relationship and raise a kid in a nuclear family, and it's just not good for society as a whole.
this is what I've always had a problem with the self-improvement thing, is like, this is a general idea that I've never agreed with. It's like the whole, like, men should sleep around, but women should stay loyal to you. That shit is so fucking cringe. Yeah, sure, these ultra rich guys, you know, maybe they can do that or whatever, but, like, fuck that, man. What is it? What do you get out of that?
And it seems like
apart
a
from an
distraction.
STD.
Sounds like a distraction as well.
Even, bro,
Yeah.
like, even as a whole thing, like, even if I was rich, I wouldn't even feel the need to do that. Like, it's just, all it is just ego fulfilling.
That's all it is.
And how you just touched on with, you know, women being distraction, I'm not saying that's exactly what you are saying. But in terms of that, I kind of have to disagree with that, only because, yes, women would be a distraction if you have the wrong women around you in life. It's very easy to treat them as a distraction if they're saying, why didn't you see me all the time? You only saw me 5 times this week. Like, things like that, of course it's going to be distracting. But if it's a woman who understands your purpose, understands your mission in life and supports you, she's anything but a distraction, but a complement to your life.
It depends what part of life you're in, whether you're in like a business building part of your life, or you're in like a relationship building part, or you're like trying to link all of it up in one. Just depends what your lifestyle is.
I just don't understand all these red pill guys that go around claiming, yeah, stay disciplined in the gym, stay disciplined in like everything. I'm focused on my business. But then when it comes to women, they don't have a single droplet of discipline.
Yeah, it's just like they just let their dick. They just let their dick guide them.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeping with a bunch of they complain about these hoes and shit or whatever at the clubs, and then they go and make those.
Exactly.
Hoes.
So why do you have these low standards in that area, but extremely high standards in every other facet of your life? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a little, and then they have the responsibility of telling that to the kids as well that are watching them.
Exactly. It's just they're trying to tell these like their audience, which is realistically mostly kids, you say discipline and everything, but women just let your dick guide you. Like,
yeah, bro, that's fucking dang. Like I've tried to be on both sides of that, and I've always more fulfilled just having one chick, just building a relationship with that. Like it's always 10 times better, bro.
10 times easier too.
And 10 times fucking easier.
No, but you need experience because if I sleep around, I get experience with loads of women. It's like, but then you got to go out, you got to try find them. It's like you can only get like once a week. It's like, but if you just have a loyal girlfriend every night, bro, you're pumped.
Exactly, bro. It's literally you're fucking factual, bro. It's.
I mean, I will say that, like dating different women, you will get an experience with like how different women work and whatever. But like, how beneficial really is that?
I know this is like kind of weird to say on a fucking 1% podcast, but how are you supposed to learn a woman's body if you're always dealing with different bodies?
Yeah,
it's like you need it's your like what you're doing more or less is like. Let's just say you're playing a video game, right? And you're getting level 2 on every single archetype versus getting level 100 on one of them. What do you think you're going to know more about?
I was thinking that too. Yeah, I was putting it to a game.
Yeah, it's like, it just makes no sense. I think at the end of the day, it's just degeneracy, and degeneracy just doesn't do any good for anything.
Yeah, 100%.
I think
that's what we always say. We're always pointing it out now, just general degeneracy, and we look like fucking nerds sitting here saying you're being degenerate because they love that shit.
It is.
Like,
it's
they
not cool
thrive
to do that.
on that. Like they thrive on like doing as many drugs as possible. Because I've been there too, and it's like being degenerate is like sort of being cool or whatever.
Bro, I reckon like we're getting to the point one day we're just going to convert to Islam on this podcast.
Yeah,
like,
no, literally.
with all the values that we give out here, it's
Maybe we should
It's dangerously close to religion, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Something I wanted to say about religion was, I don't think that fully believing in a religion is objectively right, nor do I believe in saying you're an atheist is objectively right. Because realistically, you don't know the answer to anything. You don't know if this is factual. Yeah, you can class me as agnostic or whatever, but I'd say being open-minded in every facet of life is always going to get you a long way.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I was 16 to 18, just sort of growing up, and I'm surrounded by figures such as Andrew A.T., and and like he's so polarized. I'm like, yeah, I should, you know, be super polarizing as well and just believe in all these facts and everything. But like, the older you get, and yeah, I'm only fucking 20 years old, but the older you get, the more you realize that there's no real right and wrong. Like a lot of more things are around in a grey area nowadays.
Everyone's right in their own mind. It's like as simple as that.
Exactly.
There's no right and wrong to anything at the end of the day.
Like at the end of the day, we are literally probably none of this is even probably real. Like you're telling me, bro, we're literally just on a spherical object flying through fucking some space, just flying around. Like zoom out.
But you actually believe in this world you were just born as like a privileged human instead of just some like microscopic little bug.
Yeah.
Do you know how much more of them there are than humans?
Bullshit.
It's like that is like a 1 in a quintillion chance that you were even born as a person with arms and legs.
Bro,
Like,
the amount of times I'll be just like,
simulation.
even in the middle of this podcast, I'll be thinking, wait, so I'm like a sentient being with eyeballs seeing these things in my pink little slushy brain that is connecting all these.
There's no way
like,
that's a real
receptors.
thing.
You can zoom out and be like, we're probably just this little fucking tiny little molecule on like someone's hair, on like some other being's hair or something. Or you could zoom in and there could be like a whole little universe sitting on my kneecap, bro. Like a whole like universe with different worlds.
Well, think about
and there could be like Andrew Mate.
Yeah, well, think about the little bacteria. Think about the little bacteria on your like hair follicles. They probably have a podcast on there about self-improvement, and they're like, I wonder what's out there in the universe, and it's just me talking on a bigger one.
Oh god! But it also ties into like nihilism as well. I'd say negative versus positive nihilism is definitely like a big factor. Like a lot of people who are quote unquote nihilists, they think it's like the black pill. They're like, okay, you know, like I'm gonna die one day anyway, so it doesn't matter. Or you can think of it as like, I'm gonna die one day anyways, so it does matter, and I can, you know, well, not that it does matter, but more or less, who gives a fuck what people think of me?
Yeah.
I can just do whatever I want, and it doesn't really matter what they think anyway.
Exactly, bro. It doesn't matter what people think. Like,
Yeah.
people be scared to post stuff and do stuff because I care what people think about me. It's like, okay, if they don't like you, and even if they wanted to kill you, just move to a different country and you're literally in a whole different universe.
So it's like fuck,
who
man,
fucking
nothing
cares?
matters, man.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Like we can just sit here and people can say, "Oh, no, everyone needs a fucking podcast or whatever."
Yeah, it's like you're gay on a podcast, or it's like, why should I care, bro?
Yeah, and what are they doing? Watching it while sipping some beers.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten into the different pills. So there's obviously this is the most autistic
This is
part
something
of
I
it
have
all.
no knowledge of.
I have a little bit of knowledge.
I have, unfortunately, a fair bit of knowledge.
I have a little bit, but so I'll just quickly describe it. So red pill is basically the improvement. So there's different pills that you apparently swallow. You can either be a red pillar, which is one that is on self-improvement.
So it's pretty much just,
And
it's like a mindset you have, yeah?
It's a mindset you have.
Okay.
So red pill is like self-improvement and you believe in growth. Like you should improve and grow. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say to a certain point. I'd say, let me start from the first one. So, blue pill is sort of like Disneyland, sort of like thinking, Beauty and the Beast. Like, looks don't matter. It's all about personality. I can, look however I want. I can be some janitor, balding subhuman, and I can get anyone I want.
Nice. As long as you're nice.
As long as you're nice.
It is pretty laughable, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit.
Okay, so that's, blue pill is just delusion.
Yeah, okay. Blue pill is like what your parents teach you until you realize the real world. Now, the real world, quote unquote, would be the red pill, meaning that, things do matter. Looks to a certain point do matter. Actually, I don't think they I'd say they acknowledge looks, but it's more in what you can do with your looks in terms of getting muscular, getting some glasses, getting a nice beard, shaving your head off, things like that.
Wait, when you talk about it, you talk about it through a lens of sort of attracting women. Is that what it's about?
That's literally all the pills care about is like in terms of attracting women. That's
So
how
fucking-
it is.
Wait,
down there.
so this would have originated on Reddit?
I don't know.
Because that's where the autists hang out. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of autistic people on the internet. They all sort of curdle.
oh, yeah, I was going to say, how does this stuff even get invented, bro?
And then you have the black pill, which is the most notorious one out of all of them. The black pill sort of purports the idea that looks and your genetics are the only things that really matter in terms of like attracting women. So for example, like if you're born like tall or like you have like, I don't know, some shoulder width or canthal tilt or some shit, then it basically teaches people saying like, oh, so if you're born with certain traits or like you don't have these ideal features, you should get like surgery and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like black pill's like very extremist, I would say.
Yeah.
I'd say what works for each sort of category. I hate to do this, but I'm going to delve into some autism, okay?
Oh no.
So,
Strap yourself up.
Strap yourself in. So, I'd say if you're a balding subhuman, black pill would benefit you, which sounds like, oh, what do you mean black pill would help you? Just be fucking, whatever. But, like, when you're at a point where you generally look so bad that you can't attract women, you need to looks max. You have to.
Oh yeah, but
You just have to.
looks max, isn't that red pill though?
Nah.
What?
Looks maxing is inherently black pilled.
How?
Because it's
is where I
acknowledging
get confused.
because it's acknowledging that looks matter.
So red pill people believe that looks don't matter.
No, red pill people believe that looks matter, but only in a different sense to what black pillers think. Yes, it's a lot to do with genetics, but it's also about improving upon your genetics. You get what I'm saying? So it's that. Red pill. Where was I again?
I think, honestly, just be a polite, intellectual chat and you'll be fine in
Ignore
life.
that shit.
Just
Literally,
improve.
at the end of the day, all you need to do is just improve what you can with the hand you've been dealt. Everyone, like, even if you are some 5'3" balding subhuman, like, you can still improve in some way, shape, or form.
If you're swallowing this virtual pill on the internet,
Virgin
then you
pills,
should probably get out of your office chair and just go outside. Like, let's be real here. Like,
So what you need to do is you need to touch grass. All right, wait, hold on.
That's a plant.
that's
Yeah, whatever.
Even that's plastic.
Yeah,
That's BPA.
Oh, is that BPA? Fuck. You know what I mean, though. So yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Wait. Let me actually. So yeah, like what I was saying. So if you're a subhuman, black pill is pretty good.
Shut the fuck
Just wait.
Bro,
just wait.
enough of the pills, man.
Just give me a sec. All right. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. All right. So if you're born. All right. Just give me a sec. Oh, all right. So if you're Lockie Williams, I'm joking, bro. All right. Yeah. All right. So if you're born with unfavorable traits within your genetics, unfortunately that's just the way it is. I'd say looks maxing and not swallowing the black pill, but acknowledging that looks matter. Well, everyone should inherently, but, you know, trying to improve your looks as much as possible is going to benefit you the most, solely just because, like, you know, if you're below a 5 in attractiveness, saying 5 is average, it's going to be very hard, to be honest, to attract women. That's just how it is. That's plain and simple. With normies, I'd say the red pill is going to help you the most, solely just because, you know, it's what works for the majority of people. And then let's just say, if you're like a Chad, you could literally just be blue pilled and not care. Like, you could literally just be kind to women and you'd still get women. Like, you don't need to do any of that shit. Obviously, you know, setting yourself apart, like, obviously, if you're a Chad and you're following the blue pill or whatever, you're still not really going to, you know, stand out because, yes, you look good, but you don't have a business, you don't have any amount of status. So you aren't like really, you just don't have much outside of your looks, which is not, it's not
tradie or something.
Yeah, pretty much, man, like that. So it's not really going to matter in terms of the grand scheme of things. It's just it'll just work for you enough just to get a decent amount of women. That's all that I'm really saying.
I think the problem with it is too extreme. Like, why don't you just get like a little bit of the blue pill, just be polite, a little bit of the red pill, have some status, and a bit of the like black pill, just try to look good.
Oh yeah, no, like I agree. Literally, like you don't need to follow any pills. Like all this shit is just retarded.
That's what I'm thinking.
To be honest with you, I'm just explaining what all these pills mean. I'm not saying to follow a certain pill. Like literally, what you said there is perfect. Just take a bit out of every single one, and like it's kind of cringe to say, but I tried to make like my own pill one day. It was called the green pill.
That's right. No, we were both.
Yeah, we were both. Yeah. And I sort of just said exactly what you said, just trying to improve in every facet of life because, you know, this may sound a bit controversial, but I feel like women at the end of the day will choose the best option they can get.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, then, you know, people will say, oh, but personality matters and stuff. But personality also ties into the best man you can get, like the best personality you can get. So it's all about just getting the best person you can possibly get. Yeah. And that ties in with everything.
That's pretty much how I've always sort of done it. Like I understood as soon as I was a redhead, right? So I understood that. So I just dyed my hair. Okay,
that's black pill.
Fuck.
So I just dyed my hair. I dyed my eyebrows because they were blonde and you couldn't fucking see them. Okay, whatever, makes me gay. Whatever. Dyed my hair, dyed my eyebrows, went to the gym. That's just I've improved from probably like a 4 to maybe like a 6.5, 7 or whatever.
I'd be more generous than that. Fucking sexy, bro.
Before he went for that, bro.
You went for it initially, and I was like,
bro, you went for the home run.
He was like, fuck it. Yeah, I like improved my looks. I leaned out as well because I was full of water. So I stopped eating junk food, improved my diet, and that made me look a little better. And I went from Ed Sheeran to MGK, which is a plus.
That's a way better comparison, isn't it?
And yeah, fucking oath. And
I'm still stuck as Ed Sheeran.
And I just started being like, when I was going to the gym as well, I started trying to improve my confidence. I did cold approaching for a while as well, where basically all you do is you go up to random chicks and just fucking try to talk to them. Like it sounds like, dude, it sounds like a weird as fuck concept to like the normal person, yeah. But it's literally just human interaction. Like people make it like used to call me a creep. Like it's normal human interaction. I'm not asking to like hold their tits or something. I'm just asking for sunscreen, you know. But that was a massive one for increasing your confidence as well.
Generally, bro, like I'd say if you're lacking confidence and you want to increase your confidence quickly, I'd say the first thing you need to do is just improve the way you look within a couple years, max out as much as you possibly can, then cold approach girls and literally just get positive feedback from them. Once you got positive feedback from them, you know, oh yeah, so I'm attractive to women. I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of men are insecure, they lack confidence is because they feel like, oh, I'm not enough to, you know, get with women or whatever. And, you know, obviously I'm talking about in the way that women are the most important thing, but, you know, every man wants to be attracted to women. If you're perceived as ugly
they're not lying.
Yeah, exactly right. So if you're perceived as ugly through the female gaze, then let's just be real, your confidence is going to suffer from that.
Yeah. Pretty much. And you also like just, it's a blue pill or whatever, but just be fucking nice, you know? Being nice is a plus. Like everyone's so... Also, do you think about how weird it is that people just like walk past each other and not say a fucking thing? Like try not to even look at each other? Like it's in general society, no one talks to anyone.
It is the new generation. That's why I love when I walk past old people and they're just so nice. They say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you?
I'm all about it.
I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
It's like human interaction is coming to an all-time low. It's just because of the phones and shit too.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's terrible.
But that's why it's weird when the whole cold approaching thing is known as weird as fuck. But realistically, what it is just human interaction, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Curiosity, trying to see what everyone's
The
doing.
best people at cold approaching are like the old guys, like they're like used to it back in the
Yeah,
day.
I used to-
1990s Riz.
Dude, I actually almost got fucking schooled by this old guy one time. I was chilling with my girlfriend, just sitting on a park bench, and this old guy, he looked fly as fuck. Like, he used to pull up in a Mustang, like slick back hair and everything. He's like 75 years old, and he pulls up. He goes, "Oh, what's a beautiful girl like you doing in a dump like this?" And I'm just sitting there. Right, this is like before I sort of started trying to improve my confidence shit. I'm just sitting there like, sort of like skinny fat and whatever. I'm just like, like, what am I going to do about this? And she's like blushing and shit. And she's like, oh. And then he's like, you must be her brother. I'm like, no, she's my girlfriend. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay. And he's like walked off. And I'm just like,
Got
fuck.
demolished.
Just got demolished by some 75-year-old.
Damn.
And then, you know, she's already looking at me like, you're a fucking...
That 75-year-old man probably had more testosterone levels than you did.
100%. Bro. No, bro, he would have. He had like this
legitimately.
Chad beard at 75, like this full-on beard, slick back hair and shit. Like, wish I could get him on the potty, but anyway. Oh, that's also another objective tip that you can be safe to do. Increase your testosterone. All right, stop fucking producing those, you know, that breast mass, and actually start increasing your testosterone.
I think that's why I think I mentioned a few podcasts ago the upward spiral. A lot of that is due to the testosterone increase. It's like if you force yourself to improve your life, your testosterone will rise, and then you'll want to improve it even more.
Yeah.
That's how you get into the
Just
upward spiral.
testosterone makes hard work feel good.
100%. And it's also scaling what you're comfortable with as well. Like, for example, the first podcast we had here, I was actually quite nervous, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone was. Now we've done
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck do I
Yeah.
speak into this microphone?
Literally, bro. Now we've done it a few times, and I've gone out and, like, let's be real, bro. I didn't know how to take public transport until like fucking 2 weeks ago, and I forced myself to go to the city at night and do all that shit. And that was like, you know, that was hard for me at the moment. Now I don't give a fuck, and it's, you know, like
Once you do it, man.
once I did that, then the next day I started approaching girls in the gym, and then
Yeah.
I'm here on the podcast, and this is just like second nature to me. I don't give a fuck. So
Yeah, that's why like doing shit is just the best way to get good at shit because and like be confident
Touching
and
grass.
stuff. Yeah, it's like, whoa, bro, like when I went for my license, I had like 2 hours of experience. I'm like, I was fucking shitting myself to even drive. I'm like, I'm probably gonna get into a crash. And then now I drive around like I fucking probably shouldn't, but I drive around like I own the roads, bro. And that's just because I just do it so much.
Vic Rose is going to comment on this post.
Yeah, I know. Vic Rose gonna send me an email.
I
So you don't-
fucking knew that was you.
you did what, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah. To get confident at something, just do it, and that's why people freak out when they go to the like. Even an example is the gym.
Yeah.
People walk in there, they get intimidated, and they go, "There's just all these big guys. I feel like they're staring at me. I don't know how to do all the exercises and stuff." It's like, bro, just relax because in a few months you'll be good at it, and it'll feel like home to you.
That's why I feel more comfortable in the gym than I do in a lot of places. It's like even going back to the cold approaching thing. Like once you do it once, you can do it much more times. Like it's always going to feel a little weird because you're just approaching like chicks. But also, I would say look smacks before you do it. Make sure you look alright before you do it. Because if you're like ugly, man, like honestly, if you're ugly and you go to a chick, like she's not going to be interested in you in the slightest. Like you can say the same things that an attractive guy will say, but it's said differently.
it's just the halo
differently.
effect. That's all it really is. And like, yeah, this is inherently black pill, but it's true. You know, like because all a girl knows face value if you cold approach them is, well, how you look, right? So you need to improve that first. And like I said before, if you're trying to improve your confidence as quickly as possible, improve your looks, then cold approach chicks, get positive feedback. I'm attractive now. Bam, you're confident. Simple.
Exactly.
That's all you need, literally. But don't be a bitch about it. Like actually approach them instead of contemplating whether you should do it or not.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been told.
Yeah, you've been told. A couple of cold approaching tips, like just talk about what they're doing in the current circumstance. Like you don't have to go up and like a lot of these self-improvement guys will give you these like lines to say.
So
Yeah, like a
They'll give you
script.
like a script. It's like, dude, that's never going to work for you autistic cunts. You've got to actually just talk to them like human beings. Even if you go in there with not knowing what to say at all, just go in there and be like, why are you at the beach? Or just be like, fuck, just say something of what they're doing. Like, for instance, like the sunscreen one. Like, do you reckon I could borrow some sunscreen?
Just say what comes to your mind. Like, I remember I approached a girl the other day and I'm like, damn, she's a nice jawline. That's literally just what I said. I'm like, damn, you got a nice jawline. She's like, oh, thank you. So do you. Like, it's so easy. You just say whatever's on your mind and they can sense if you're confident or not. They can sense if you're shitting yourself. If you're like...
Which you probably are going to be the first time.
Yeah,
but
the first time, of course, but you know, you don't need to show that. But the more experience you get with talking to women, it's almost like they're human beings. Quite miraculous.
But it's also like some of these fucking black people guys like, I'll never get a chick because of my looks. It's like, well, where are you gonna find them, mate?
Yeah,
how are you gonna get a
and
chick? Like, sure, you go on Tinder or whatever, but like, good luck there. You know, so you might have, you might get one of a good one, but like, how else are you gonna get a chick? By circumstance, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna like come to them.
It's not gonna come to you, bro. Like, you gotta fucking go out and talk to chicks. Go in the environment where they are.
You
Like
gotta
gyms
hop
and
off
shit.
Reddit and touch grass, bro.
That's it, man. All right, boys, we'll wrap it up there anyway. I hope you provided some sort of value. We knew this was going to be more of a discussion, but we gave a few pointers, a couple of tips in there. Also, guys, we just updated the 180 program, so we've completely changed the model, and we're going to be doing exclusive content there every single week. So after this, we're going to do an extended version, but it's going to be uploaded to that platform. So we're going to be doing a long discussion on there. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go to the link in the description. It's free for 7 days, so you can cancel at any time. So really, there's nothing to lose. If you just want to watch the episode and dip, you can literally do that. But yeah, did you guys enjoy the episode?
I did enjoy the episode.
Were you guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy the episode?
That's the most important thing.
And let us know below as well. Let us know what you want us to talk about next, if we provided some valuable information, what you learned, but more importantly, like what you guys want to see.
Even drop some comments down below and we can answer it in the podcast.
Q&As, and we'll answer it next podcast. So yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next one.
I'm starving. I need to eat.
Yeah, I need to eat, get on a bulk.